Hello everyone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on January 12th, 2015. And, you know, honestly, I'm really trying to think about this. There wasn't really much that good about Raw. I mean, there was a couple good segments on there. What I'll say, segments. There wasn't really much in the terms of good story development. Segment-wise, like the opening segment in general, the whole aspect of the whole firing aspect of Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback. I've never liked firing storylines because you know better. You literally know better. You know they'll just be back in a few weeks. Anything like that. There's no reason to do it unless you're just trying to write. Like, I wish they would use those firing type segments to just write someone off when their contract's up or something like that. But they're going off of that and then making the whole lumberjack match with Cena and Seth Rollins, and you knew where that storyline was going to go, that they weren't going to let Cena win. They're not going to let Cena triumph yet, and they get their jobs back and everything like that. And it's not that time for that portion of the storyline, and it's just, in the end, again, it's just stupid. I don't like those type of storylines, and that's just me personally. I mean, some other people might find them entertaining. The lumberjack match was blah to begin with because they did the typical get everybody who's for the authority out there, so they just gang up on Cena type story for that match. Again, that was nothing much there. It was what it was. It was at least well executed in that sense, but again, not a storyline I always look forward to seeing to begin with. Though on the plus side, I will say that the whole aspect of the authority trying to get at everybody who is like the storyline of the authority trying to get at everybody who's trying to go against them. They did do I feel like they did a relatively good job. I mean, they get that point across, and they did a really good job of getting that across with the whole them going after the Usos and Dean Ambrose. Basically Stephanie making Jimmy Uso's wife Naomi forced into a match with her hand tied or her arm tied behind her back. Things like that. Those little punishments, those kind of things, I find at least semi-intriguing, semi-entertaining. They're going out there to just punish these people for siding with someone else. The segments with Dean Ambrose and the psychiatrist, they were actually kind of funny. I personally enjoyed them. I thought they were really good. Those backstage segments, they made me laugh a bit, and that's what they were probably going for there. And honestly, they again, a well executed area on that. I thought it was actually really good. But then they go off and ruin it by having him go out there with Rusev to begin with. So they make him look strong in one area, and then they make him look completely weak here, because obviously they're looking to make Rusev look strong. And since I did like the promo with Lana and Rusev about Ryback and how he got fired and everything on that aspect, and them looking to continue that storyline for when they do bring back Ryback. So that it was at least, again, another little snippet of a good thing inside of what I felt was not necessarily that good of a night on Raw. Like they had Tyson Kidd and Cesaro already going up against the New Day, and now they just put over the New Day like it was nothing. It's, hopefully, you're kind of hoping for a little bit longer of a program out of that, and hopefully they are going to continue some kind of program with both those teams in there. They continue on with doing the squash matches with the Ascension, and I don't know why on commentary they have JBL burying these guys at all cost. Well, it wasn't as bad this week as it was the week before, but they kind of, I get where they're coming from on the commentary side, because you have JBL basically saying they've done nothing yet, all that kind of aspect, but yet they're saying they're this. I don't, to me, especially with them looking like they're going to be heels, why wouldn't they have JBL be the heel commentator here and say, hey, they may have done nothing yet, but yes, they look like they're going to be something down the road, or something in that sense. But otherwise, it just feels like they are using him to almost bury these guys, like they've almost given up on him already. They continue things on with the whole Paige, Natalya, in the Bella story, which wasn't much of anything. It was just a match with Paige and Brie Bella, which they had Tyson Kidd distract Paige and force her to lose. Nothing much to say there. Which just brings up to the, well, pretty much the final segment, and also the whole aspect of Brock Lesnar being there. Paul, of course, another good aspect of the show, Paul Heyman, who is usually really good with his promos, cut really good promos again tonight. And I actually liked the little short snippets of time that they gave Brock Lesnar a mic. You know, when you give him the mic, you keep him short, sweet, to the point, and it's good. The last segment with Cena, Rollins, and Lesnar was a really well executed, you know, for once, not really that boring of a contract signing segment. You kind of got the point and the banter there, and you made it feel like it was supposed to be an actual triple threat match where all three sides just don't mesh and they don't like each other, and they'll just go at each other. When the pay-per-view happens, you had Rollins interrupting Heyman, and then Heyman interrupting Rollins, and then basically bantering at each other, and then of course Cena's bit in there too. And that was the other weird thing about it. They made it feel like Cena was kind of a afterthought in that match, in that whole segment. He didn't really do much. It was mostly between Lesnar and Rollins, or Heyman and Rollins in that case. And then they just kind of tidbitted Cena in there for little portions of it. Of course, as all contract signings do, that little flurry segment was also relatively well done. I have to point this one out as a really bad thing too, and I will point and as a really bad thing towards the show. Who is scripting Roman Reigns' promos? And why are they having him go towards these like superhero or like fairy tale storytelling type promos? Tonight's promo with the whole Jack and the Beanstalk, I get it. I get it, you know, you have Big Show as the Giant and Roman Reigns as that. And, you know, I get it, but it just came off so bad. And you could tell through the crowd. They did not like this promo at all. You can actually tell the little bit of the difference between them afterwards with, you know, in the middle of the match, they kind of turned back around, you know, towards Roman Reigns' favor, but you could tell them turning while he was speaking. You could hear the boos coming. And it was a bad promo. And I really I just want them to kind of get to the finish of this storyline so they can do what they're supposed to do with Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania. His match with Luke Harper tonight was actually relatively good as well. It was just a promo that was absolutely terrible. The Daniel Bryan segment, of course, eventually leading into Stephanie McMahon and Kane interrupting as well. I thought it came off really well. It goes back into playing with that storyline that kind of wasn't finished yet, with the whole Daniel Bryan versus the Authority, and him against the world, and trying to get to WrestleMania to be the main event again. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the promos between Stephanie and Daniel Bryan. I liked the aspect that they kind of played the role reversal, and where Daniel Bryan got the massive advantage in the brawl with him and Kane, unlike what they did earlier in the year, or what they did before the whole neck injury. And also they with that brawl, they kind of showed that, or at least Daniel Bryan showed, he wasn't really going to tone down much of what he was going to do. He's still going to do the diving drop kicks, the dive through the ropes. He wasn't toning it down for the aspect of potentially injuring himself again. So it kind of goes to show that his neck is in a proper spot, that he can be out there doing exactly what he was doing before, and there should be no worries. And that's a good thing to see there. So, but that's pretty much everything I have to say about Raw. And I'll say overall, there was good stuff on the show, and I mentioned it throughout the review. But overall, I don't really think this show was all that good again. Their lead up into the Royal Rumble has not been great in my mind. You've had it's had its moments, but it hasn't been all that great to begin with. So overall, it was an okay show at best. Probably more towards the bad side, at least in my own personal opinion. So that's my review this week for Monday Night Raw, and I thank you guys for watching.